At first, it looks like clarity, focus, high performance, but look closer and you'll see something else, a life built entirely around intensity. This is a hidden paradox among the most capable people. They don't just tolerate chaos, they are drawn to it, not consciously, not with intent, but through a slow, subtle drift. Their careers, their relationships, even their downtime, all become calibrated to a single, unspoken metric, the level of adrenaline they produce. That adrenaline surge leads to a state of heightened brain activity, a flood of what neuroscientists call gamma waves. This creates a powerful feeling of hyperfocus, a sensation of the world snapping into perfect crystalline clarity. For a sharp, analytical mind, this state doesn't just feel good, it feels like truth. It feels like purpose. It feels like the very definition of their identity. But beneath this impressive facade of peak performance lies a deceptive chemical loop. It's a cycle of dopamine hits, cleverly disguised as ambition, rationalized as the pursuit of mastery. And the more intelligent you are, the more skilled you become at crafting the disguise, at convincing yourself and everyone around you that this is not an addiction, but a choice. This is the path to high-performer burnout. We're going to explore how cognitively gifted individuals can become addicted not to success itself, but to the feeling of intensity that precedes it. They unconsciously engineer lives filled with unrelenting urgency, pressure, and drama, environments that constantly feed the rush, that keep the dopamine flowing. It begins with the exhilarating climb of peak performance. It ends with a nervous system wired for a war that never ends, and a soul quietly, completely exhausted. There is a profound psychological paradox at play here. The more intelligent you are, the more capable you become of constructing an entire reality around your favorite neurochemical state, without ever realizing you've built yourself a beautiful, high-functioning cage. You believe you are being productive, but you are merely feeding a compulsion. Let's begin by understanding the engine driving this behavior. It's not a character flaw, it's a feature of brain chemistry being exploited. When you face a tight deadline, a complex problem, or a high-stakes negotiation, your body releases adrenaline. This is the fight-or-flight response. For a high performer, this isn't a threat, it's a signal to engage. Adrenaline sharpens your senses, and crucially, it can trigger a surge in gamma brain waves. Imagine your brain as an orchestra. In a normal state, different sections are playing their own tunes. But during a gamma wave state, the entire orchestra plays the same powerful note in perfect, resonant harmony. This is the feeling of being in the zone. Thoughts connect faster, patterns emerge from noise, and solutions appear with stunning clarity. This state is profoundly rewarding, and your brain, ever the efficient learner, takes note. The reward is a powerful hit of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of motivation and pleasure. But here's the critical distinction. The dopamine hit isn't just for solving the problem, it's for the anticipation of the challenge, for entering that state of high arousal focus. Over time, this creates a powerful feedback loop. The brain learns intensity equals focus, which equals reward. Soon, the intelligent mind starts to subconsciously seek out conditions that will create this state. It's no longer about the external goal, it's about triggering the internal feeling. This is the subtle shift from ambition to a form of dopamine addiction. The high performer becomes a master architect of their own neurochemical landscape. They don't just find chaos, they create it, because chaos is the raw material for their drug of choice, intensity. They'll volunteer for the project everyone else avoids. They'll set impossible deadlines for themselves. They'll fill their calendar until every minute is accounted for, creating an artificial sense of urgency. They will tell themselves this is about growth, about pushing limits, about how to be productive at the highest level. The smarter the mind, the more convincing the rationalization. "I just work best under pressure" becomes the mantra. But is it working best? Or is it simply the only way you feel alive? This is the core of the deception. The pursuit of external success becomes a cover for an internal chemical need. The result is a life that looks impressive from the outside, but feels like a treadmill on the inside. It's a constant state of sensory overload, where the baseline for stimulation gets pushed higher and higher. A quiet evening, a slow weekend, a simple conversation. These can start to feel agonizingly boring, not because they are inherently dull, but because the nervous system is now calibrated for a hurricane. Calmness feels like a void. This is dopamine overload in action. The brain is so accustomed to massive spikes that it no longer responds to subtle, gentle rewards. This lifestyle is not sustainable. The human nervous system is not designed to operate in a perpetual state of emergency. Eventually, the bill comes due in the form of high-performer burnout. It doesn't always look like a dramatic collapse. Often it's a slow, quiet corrosion. It's the loss of creativity, the feeling of emotional numbness, the sense that you're just going through the motions. It's the exhaustion that sleep can't fix. It's the mind that once solved complex problems with ease, now struggling to decide what to have for dinner. You've been demanding wartime performance from a peacetime body, and the system has finally run out of resources. The journey out of this cycle isn't about working less or abandoning ambition. It's about a fundamental rewiring of your internal operating system. It involves 3 crucial shifts in perspective. First, you must recognize the map you're living by. You need to honestly ask yourself, what truly drives my major decisions? Is it a genuine desire for a particular outcome, or is it an unspoken search for that familiar jolt of adrenaline? Look at your career choices, your relationships, even your hobbies. Do they bring you integrated, sustainable joy? Or do they primarily offer high-stakes drama and a neurochemical rush? This is the first step. Seeing the pattern not as a series of isolated choices, but as a map drawn by a hidden cartographer, your brain's craving for intensity. Second, you must consciously work to break the performance equals worth loop. For many high achievers, their sense of self-worth is inextricably tied to their output, to their ability to handle pressure. This belief is the anchor for the entire chaotic lifestyle. To break it, you must understand that this cycle doesn't guarantee success. It only guarantees burnout over time. True mental toughness is not about endlessly enduring self-inflicted stress. It's about the wisdom to recognize an unsustainable pattern and the courage to change it. It's about understanding that your value as a person is not measured by the intensity of your struggles, but by the totality of your being, which includes your capacity for rest, connection, and peace. This realization is the beginning of genuine brain rewiring. Third, you must learn to balance intensity with integration. A life of constant adrenaline is like jagged mountains, dramatic but unlivable. A healthy life includes not just peaks, but valleys and plains. Calm isn't just recovery, it's productive. Design your life with space for reflection, unstructured time, and low-demand activities. So how do we make these shifts? How do we stop? There are 3 concrete ways out, 3 practices to rewire your brain from chaos to sustainable success. The first is dopamine awareness. This means becoming a detective of your internal states. For a week, just notice, without judgment, what gives you a rush. A phone buzz? A tough email? The urge to argue? Ask, is this driven by choice or compulsion? Does this align with my values or avoid stillness? This noticing creates space between stimulus and response. It's the first step to reclaiming control from dopamine-chasing autopilot. Not overload, clarity. The second is building deliberate stillness. A nervous system wired for chaos fears silence. Retrain it. Stillness doesn't mean hours of meditation. It can be a short walk without your phone, sitting quietly, or sipping coffee without scrolling. These have no task or goal. They reset your nervous system. A gentle dopamine detox teaches your brain that calm is safe, even enjoyable. Staying calm under pressure starts with calm when there's none. The third is redefining what sharp feels like. A chaos-driven brain links sharpness with urgency. Thinking pressure equals productivity. Teach it a new truth. Sharpness lies in calm consistency. Like the turtle beating the rabbit, sharp minds avoid all-nighters by structuring life well. They do deep, focused work from relaxed concentration. Celebrate steady progress, not just last-minute wins. True productivity is consistent output, not bursts followed by burnout. It's about longevity, not just intensity. By practicing awareness, stillness, and redefining sharpness, you begin the essential rewiring. You move from chemical cravings to conscious, integrated values. So we're left with a closing question. If you stopped engineering your life to chase the next high, if you let go of the need for constant intensity and save that adrenaline for where it truly belongs, who would you become? More importantly, with your immense intelligence no longer hijacked by the search for a rush, what would move you now?